And then we've got it on Facebook, and on Zoom. Yay!
We are everywhere. We are everywhere all at once. Like, wow.
This is awesome.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I know. How good is it? Thank you for taking the time for this call today. I'm really excited. And I guess the purpose of us getting together today and having a chat is to learn more. I've just been learning a little bit about you, Christine, about what you've achieved and what accomplished. I've known Swellen for some time, so we're going to talk about her as well. So welcome to both of you. I'm so happy we have this time. And there will be a reveal a little bit later on about what's coming up very soon. But Christine, let's start with you. I'm sure a lot of people out there know you, but you've impressed me in the last few minutes just before we got on the call. 400 people. You got 400 people. That's a magnificent result. So I'm going to start there, and can you just tell us your story and tell us what you do?
Yeah, and thanks, Mero, for this call. It's great to be here with you and getting to meet you while we're setting this up. So I know that we're going to connect, and I'll find out a lot more about what it is that you do and all the things you're doing over there in Melbourne. So I've got to remember to keep looking at the lens, keep looking over at your image there. My eyes are going to be going backwards and forwards.
I know. I'm the same too. I know. We're looking everywhere. It's cool, eh?
I guess if I give myself give you the official sort of like introduction, I'm Christine Robinson. I live in Tanunda in the Barossa Valley in South Australia. So the wine area for anyone who's overseas as well. And
yes.
number one international best-selling author and international speaker. And I have helped over 400 people become a number one best-selling author as well. So I started out on that journey as a bit of a mistake, really, because I was publishing digital magazines, and one of the biggest.
I love the way you say that. I love the way you say that. You say that so quickly. You just say, I've got 400 people bestsellers, and we're going to come back to that, right? I'm going to let you talk. We're going to come back to that because there's a lot of people that make a lot of claims, especially on social media. We all know. It's incredible. 400 people. That's not a small number. That's not 4, not 40. It's 400. So we're going to come back to that, right? But just I'm just reminding you that I'm going to allow this skimming just for now.
Now those 400 are
400 people. So when did it all start?
Huge amount. The ones that I've published myself, so help them to publish them, and others I've helped coach them and things like that to get so that they've gone and published them themselves. But for over 400 last count. So it's a bit hard to once you get to that number, it's a bit hard to keep exact track of the number of people, so I just know roughly
of course.
what it is. So anyway,
so where did it all begin? It
all began just about 2 years ago now. As I say, I was publishing digital magazines, and this is a great reason that many people write their book is, first of all, it's a great business card, it's a great marketing tool, but for myself, the big reason that I wrote my book was because I've always been an early adopter, always starting things, get really into things. And I was just telling Mero before that I used to coach and teach people how to, be found on social media, how to set up Twitter and Facebook. Learned Twitter with Christine, the Twitter queen, back in 2008 to 10. WordPress blogs and things like that. So I remember running workshops here in Adelaide and telling people, you have to get on Facebook. There's almost 500,000 people on Facebook. And if you look now, what is it, like 1.5 billion or something like that? That's more than that, I think. Anyway, it's huge.
Wow,
huge.
It's incredible.
So people listen to me 8 years ago, they would be, streets ahead by now. Or for those people who did, that, they've done well on Facebook. Of
course, and those, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
what is it? What is it about enabling somebody? What is it about enabling somebody? And obviously you've done it so many times. What is it that enables you to do that? I mean, to extract that information out of a person and to package them and to put them online and to receive that level of success. What is that for you? What does that mean for you as somebody who's able to coach people?
That's a really great question. It's the first time I've been asked that, I think. Look, everyone has a story. Everyone has their own unique story. Everyone has their own genius. And I just love, I'm an ex-teacher, so I just love being able to extract that information out of them. I'm a really big picture person. I need someone to come along and cross the T's and dot the I's for me, even though I do, read through and edit books and things like that as well. But for me personally, I need someone else to do that because I'm a big picture type thing. So when I'm talking to someone, and I know when I've been with Sue Ellen and just talking to someone, and I can just see so many things that they can do in their business that can really help them to grow, to be found, to start attracting people into their business rather than, you know, having to go out and constantly chasing people. So one of the biggest things I find is their book, getting your message out in your book. And like I was saying, I did it. The reason I did it was so that I didn't have to keep explaining the same thing over and over and over to people. So I was able to get it out in the book, why they needed to, you know, publish a magazine, and then how to actually do it. So that they could have that and then come back and hire me as the expert consultant to actually do it for them, because it's like, oh, whoa, I haven't got the time or the energy to do that. I need you to come and do it for it. So, you know, it really set me up there as the expert in the field. So, and that's what it is about the book. It's a positioning tool to really, first of all, extract your genius, extract your story or other people's story as well, because people really want to have a conversation in the book, just like they do. You know, everyone's on their, you know, on their phones, just totally distract with technology and everything. So to be able to extract that information and connect with people, to really do it in a way, and this is where I find, especially a lot of how-to or business type books, you know, that might be a bit more like a manual, like a business manual, rather than that connectivity, that conversation that you have with someone. And so what I love teaching people is to get that information out, but then to deliver it in a way that you're talking to one person only. And we do a lot of work around the avatar on that, go really, really, you know, real deep dive on that. So you're having a conversation with one person. Because it's like, you know, when you see a video or you read a Facebook post or an email or something, it's like, we're talking about me. How do they know that? You know, that's exactly how I feel. That's what keeps me awake at night, whatever it might be. So it's being able to do that in your book.
That's right.
At the same time as packaging it and positioning yourself as the authority, because we're all authority in something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for people who are listening to this either live now or perhaps later, they, you know, I might sense they might have two questions. The first question is, well, who am I? The average person would be, who am I? Do I have enough inside me? Do people would people listen to me? Would people read me? I mean, it's incredible how interesting we are when we share that part of ourselves, right? But what would you say to somebody who has that doubt? That, you know, those two doubts, I guess, come up in a lot of people I've dealt with.
Yeah.
You know, am I really going to be that important to people? Number one. Number two is, have I got enough content and enough interesting stuff in me? So what would you respond to somebody who might have that on their heart?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. What I find, generally speaking, is that people have way too much information, have way too much content, and that's where the difficulty is. It's overwhelmed. Like, where do I start? What do I bring out, and what do I put into a book? I can't put everything in. I'll give you an example of a chiropractor that I worked with in Bali shortly. But if people are feeling that way as well, then they are enough. They do have enough. If you just think of where you were, if you're a service provider or a coach or practitioner, consultant, you know, speaker, you know, want to be author, think about where you were. Most people that we want to help is where we were 6 months, 2 years, 6 years ago. So think about where you were then and the problems that you were facing then. How did you get over those problems? What would have happened if you didn't get over those problems? And that's what people are waiting for. They're waiting to find out how you can help them to solve their problems, to go from pain and towards pleasure. So it's really, you know, we all have something that we help people with. You know, if you imagine, especially women, if they're in a social gathering and someone says, you know, brings up something in a topic, then you have everyone else butting in, giving you pieces of advice. So
that's right.
You know, it's just doing that in the form of a book, really.
But
going
that's
back
exactly
to
right.
the too much content.
And it's just about really giving it a go, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, definitely. Look, what I love doing is it's getting your first book out. It doesn't have to be War and Peace. It should not be War and Peace, because War and Peace wasn't certainly written as the first book. It's just getting your book out there. Letting people see that you're serious about what it is that you do, and that you know that you have got, ways that you can help them. But not even getting your first book out there. The most important thing is getting your first shitty draft done. SFD, your first shitty first draft. SFD. I got the words mixed up there. So it's just getting that first draft done, and then obviously
that's a technical term.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happens is you've got the creator, you've got the sculptor.
Yeah, wow, that's wonderful.
You've got, so it's always that critic has to go right out of the way. You can't use the critic is always there, always nagging. Oh, what if? The critic has to stay right out while you're in the creation mode. If you just imagine, someone with a big lump of clay putting it down, that's what's in your head. It's that big lump of clay. And as you start to extract your knowledge and your skills and your expertise and everything with your book, you're starting to mold that clay and to really, manipulate it and make it into a great piece.
But that takes time.
Art.
It takes time. And it takes time, and it takes patience.
But the actual creation part can actually happen in a day. That creation part can happen in a day.
Oh, absolutely. When somebody's in flow and they've made that decision, but it is so important to prepare, to know that that it might take some strain, it might take some joy, and just to embrace every experience, right? Because I think people get a little bit, it's going to be so easy, and this is where we get overwhelmed. And you're right, there is so much information, people generally don't know where to start. So in that and in sharing that, you must have read and come across so many different people and so many different topics and so many different book titles, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a genre or a topic that is not discussed today. And having something like a platform like Amazon and online shops and things like that just enables us to have reach, right? I think you don't write a book to become a millionaire. It might happen, but it's really about reaching and sending that message, right? Sending that message out.
Yeah. But obviously, some people, like J.K. Rowling, people like that can be, people can certainly become a millionaire through the book. But really, it's your book. If you think of the sales funnel, it's like your front end, and it's all of the other parts that come after it. And
it's a system that works.
It works well. It works so well if you do it right in the first place. It works so well. I've quite a lot of authors who come to me who've had their book. I've got two at the moment actually who've had their books. One for about it's just over a year because it was last January. And the other one, I think, was about March. So they've had the books on Amazon all that time, but nothing's happened. Right. And it's just like putting a big poster on a billboard up in the shopping centre where millions of people come in. No one's going to see it like everything else. You've got to still do things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So and that's what I mean. And that's what I mean. It's that intention. It's that intention aligning with wanting to reach people, and then the money follows, right? And even those who want the money, you still got to get it into the stores. You still got to promote it online, and your program features that, right? It teaches that whole strategy from, figuring out what it is they want to talk about and write, and that extraction and the whole system. Because I've been around the system, and people have made claims. You've got the results, which is fantastic. And there's a whole package. There is a whole system, right, that goes with it.
There is totally. It's a 5-part system. The biggest part is planning. So we go, in my program, we go into that at big, that takes longer than the other 4 put together. So, that is the biggest. It's like, building a house. That's your foundation. It's drawing out the blueprint. Yeah. And then I've just thought of this metaphor for it. So it's laying out the blueprint, and then obviously, laying the foundations and the slab and what have you before you then start erecting the walls and then putting the icing on the top, doing all of the other parts. So that is the biggest part, it's the plan. And then the next part I call play, which is actually the writing component of your book, because I think that's fun. And like with Sue Ellen and I, what we're going to talk about later, we show you how to do it in such a great fun way that can happen really fast. And then, of course, once you've done that, then it's all about the publishing, how to publish, where you can publish, how to change the format from a Word document into the right sort of format that you need for whether it's, I haven't got a book with me here, but whether it's on digital on Kindle or whether it's on a print
Yep.
format or other platforms. And then, so that's the third P. And then the next one is about promotion. You're going to go out and promote your book, whether it's on social media or wherever it might be. And then the last one is profit. Over 12 ways of profiting from your book is what we go through. So the book sales is just like, a very small part of it. There's like all of these other ways that you can profit from your book. So I love that part. I love the money bit.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. That was very insightful. I'm going to come back to you, but Sue Ellen, thank you for being here. I've known you for a long time, and you've done some incredible things recently. You've been flying all over Australia, and you come from an incredibly important place. Like for me personally, I could say this personally. When you were saying before, Christine, about focusing in the book that you've got one reader or one listener. I remember me personally how stuck I was at coming through clear and just certain. That noise when you're recording in front of camera. And I remember I struggled with this a few years ago, and I reached out to Sue Ellen and I said, I don't know what it is, but I can't get my head right, and I know things, and she said to me, just look down the barrel of the camera and focus on one person.
Yeah.
Sue Ellen, that one piece of advice that shifted everything else I've created, and it's just simplified everything. I know what you do, and I want you to just share with us what you do, because it is really important, for me to have overcome that barrier. And many others have experienced the same thing, that barrier in front of the camera where, all the noise in our head and everything just, gets disrupted. And that's your gift, right? That's what you do.
Yeah, it is. It's, I've been doing video for quite a few years now, and I started off with website videos, and people would come to me with scripts, and what I noticed was that if they'd come with their script and they'd come with all these words, and then they didn't turn up. And so there was this hollowness. It was just words landing on a screen, and they landed flat. And I was like, there's no heart, there's no soul, there's like, where's the connection? And I had people coming to me going, well, where's the teleprompter?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there is no teleprompter. Like, I do not use a teleprompter because the words have to come through someone. It's not about getting the words right. A lot of my clients are perfectionists because they, like, I want to get it perfect. I got to get it right. Like I'm investing all this money in video and it's got to be perfect. And then they turn up in front of the camera and they're really stiff, and, they go away and they show the footage to, their friends, and their friends are like, who is that? Like, what? That's not you.
It's almost like it's homework or it's a chore. It's like homework or it's a chore, right? I get it completely. Yeah. Yes.
And so I saw very early on in my career that people need to show up as themselves. And this was like before authenticity was popular, and it's like I saw it so clearly. And I've been focusing on what someone does before they press record. Like, how do you make sure that you turn up that absolutely as your most unique, brilliant, greatness self, and how can you share that wisdom? So
yes,
the types of videos that I do are more of the thought leader type videos. They're not the scripted videos. They are the videos, the message that comes through the person, and it takes a little bit longer to set up and all that kind of thing. But the end result is like what Christine was saying, where there's this person who is just sitting there on the other end of that phone or the other end of their computer, and they're just compelled going, that's me. Like, they're speaking to me and they can feel them. It's the words really land. And for me, if you've got a message to get out there and it doesn't actually really land and cause some sort of stirring in the person whose life is about to change, then it's just meaningless content. So, you know, that's why I'm flying around.
I think people do themselves. I think people do themselves a disservice, and they do others a disservice when they don't show up, right?
Yeah, totally.
And how has it been for you? I mean, you have been traveling around Australia. You've come and presented at some of my events in Melbourne, and you're just doing it. Like, people are actually acknowledging how important it is. You know, that they work through that. They realise that they, you know, within themselves, that they're not showing up. And it doesn't mean that they're doing bad, and you're not taking it from bad to good. You're taking it from good to better, right? To greater.
To great.
How has that been? And how's it been that, you know, people's response and acknowledging, actually reaching out to you and saying, I'm acknowledging that this is an issue, I need to work through it. How has that been, that response? Because it has been quite great, hasn't it?
It's been huge. You know, essentially I help people to find who they are in front of the camera and capture those moments. And it was just recently that I did some filming for this 19-year-old, like just a couple of days ago. And I get completely inspired by the people who, you know, it doesn't matter what age.
Hello, 19-year-old. Hello, 19-year-old. No, but it's true. It's even more important that they're on target, right? They're on purpose.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hello, 19-year-old. Yeah.
Because each person has like this, they've got something in there that is uniquely them. Like Christine called it, you know, that genius within. And I call it their greatness. And so when they're communicating with someone, it doesn't matter whether it's online over a video or if it's just having a coffee with someone, it's like tap into that essence of who they are and let that shine, because it's magnetic, it's radiant, and it's infectious. And you just light up other people's lives simply by being yourself, rather than going, I wish I was this person. You're never going to light up anyone's life trying to be copying someone else. And it's tough. Like I get it, you know. It's like when you're walking your own path, you're like, oh, is anyone going to actually follow me? and so to have that vulnerable.
It's not even about that, is it? It's not even about that. If the whole journey is about learning to show up, I mean, that's mission accomplished, right?
Totally.
And I guess everything else just works itself from there, right?
Yeah.
It does. And you know, like, and video is a really confronting media for a lot of people. Like, it's extremely confronting, and
it's there forever.
Yeah,
it's there forever.
It is, and I take it very seriously in the fact that, you know, whenever I go online, like, and I'm doing a video, I have the ability to impact someone's life. That's not to be taken lightly, right? So video goes into people's homes. You know, there's people who are watching here today. They're in their kitchen with their son or their daughter, or that they're in their personal environment. And so there's this other level of intimacy that can happen over video if you step into it. So for me, anyone who I work with, they go on this massive vulnerability leap, because, you know, quite like every single time I work with someone, there is a message or something that comes out of them that they say to me, I've never expressed that before. And you've got to help them kind of settle into that. So I create an extremely safe place to go deep, to be vulnerable, and to make it okay, so that when they're not working with me later on, you know, and they're just back in their everyday life, and they've got their phone and they're doing Facebook Lives, they have the ability to show up because I've created that safe environment. And it's just, it's so important.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's sometimes it's that one reference point, right? It's that one reference point or two reference point of showing up, and it's true. Like I've seen you train, as I said, at one of my events, and it's not just the young people. I guess we're all young and as young as how we feel, but how nice is it to experience people that are in 30s and 40s and up, almost going into this childlike state, right? Like into this, and 50s and 60s, right? Look, I've been working with people. I've been working with people for 13, 14 years now, and you know, I've had people double my age that I've worked with, clients of mine that have become dear friends, and age and I know how joyful that is for me, for somebody at that level to still give themselves permission for that fun and joy, and and to still want to do things better. I think that's beautiful. Yeah,
it is.
And you've had all sorts of people show up, right? It's not just the professionals. You've had, you've been in many different people in many different walks of life have shown up, right, to your events and to your talks.
Yeah, and it's because everyone has something that's unique to them, and and you can always learn something from, whether they're 90 something. My neighbor who passed away last year, he passed away at 95, and the day he passed away, he rode his horse at 95. Like, how good is that? And then, I met this 19-year-old, and she's got this burning desire to make a difference. And she was telling me about these dream catchers that she makes, right? And so I'm actually going to get her to make one for me, right? And I'm like, that's what I do on video. I actually help to capture. I'm the dream catcher. I help to capture people's dreams on video. So
that's a good tagline for you.
Yeah.
Video dream catcher.
It's nice, isn't it? It's true. I mean, yeah. It's so true. But the proof is in the pudding, right? The proof is in the results. Exactly. I just find it very joyful when people acknowledge that they could be having more fun, that they could melt away that resistance and get familiar and get become dig deeper into themselves, to be in that flow that Christine was talking about before, where things are natural. There is no time and space, right? There's no limitations, and that's wonderful. And you two incredible women have teamed up. And, I've been holding back and not wanting to talk about what's coming up, but I know that people that have watched and have just heard how excited you both are and felt how excited you both are. We've got something quite special coming up, right? You got ladies who have a tour around Australia, and we were able to put together a date for Melbourne. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
The 15th.
Do you have an actual date? The 15th?
The 15th of February.
Tell us all about it. Tell us all about it. So everybody that's watching, everybody saying, you actually come meet you and can actually come and meet you and say hello in person, right?
Yeah, no, we'd love that. Well, if you just think of people, one of the biggest things that people really want to have or feel is to be acknowledged and to be heard and to have their message get out there. And that's one of the biggest things that people are either holding back on, or they feel it's falling on deaf ears. So the two of us have got together because we just have so much synergy in what we do and what we create each separately, that we've joined together to create Magnify Your Message, Just Do It Play Days. So it's all about magnifying your message, but it's coming along to an event for one day and with one goal, and just coming along and being able to extract that message out, extract that, what is your foundation? What is your dream? Capturing that, and what is your message that you want to get out there? So really being able to articulate that message, but not only articulate it, create massive amount of content, or find out how you can create massive amount of content that can then become your book, but do it through the medium of video. And so with Sue Ellen going through the video part really helps to teach you how you can do it really quickly but authentically. So it's a fun day with lots of action, and it is a do it,
wonderful.
Coming along and do this.
And I love that you call it play day. I love that you both have called it a play day, because it is, right? It's a lot of fun. It's not a course where people are going to come in and be told that they're doing it wrong, because I've been as well, and since that you're the same, Christine. It's not that at all. It's about really having fun and really coming. Whatever judgment or whatever comparison we hold with ourselves when we show up, that's just literally diminished, and that is life changing, right? And I think it's impactful not just in production and media. I mean, I've got a media company, and I understand the importance of expression and promoting and communicating. But something nice happens when somebody's in that space. They take that then to their friendships and their family and their relationships.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most wonderful thing, right? And I think you bring that down. You both bring that really powerfully. So what do we expect in this day? So which day is it in Melbourne? I mean, obviously there's a full schedule of your other trips, but let's talk about the Melbourne event. So Alan, have you got the details there in front of you? And just tell us, what do we expect? So people are going to meet you both in person, those who haven't yet. And those who have, I guess, can come and say hello. But what are people going to expect from you both?
So it's in, I'll just let you know where the dates are, like where, when and where.
Yeah.
So it's at
Sure.
it'll be in Melbourne on the 15th, which is a Wednesday. And we get to play for a whole day. So it's a whole 8 hours of playing, because half a day is just not enough time to really go delve into, like what people have got that book inside them. They've either got it sort of, they understand what the book is, or they know that they've got a book inside them, but they're just not really sure what it is. But they've got knowledge and wisdom and this genius that Christine talks about, that they just want to get out. And what Christine does really well is she helps to extract out what is within them in just simple, her teacher steps, her simple teaching steps. People get an opportunity to be hot seated. So, if they've got the opportunity to actually be chosen to go at the front of the room to have their business worked on. And then we, at the end of the day, there's like a 90-day massive action plan. So it's not just about playing and having fun. It's like there's a real focus on, this is the plan going forward.
Yes.
And this is actually what you can achieve in this time since you've come into the workshop. And then I just weave the videoing in throughout the day. We make videos, we have fun, we learn about present.
I remember at our other event when you came to Melbourne, Sue, and you spoke to my people, you had everybody out there with their phones, and they were just, people were having so much fun.
It's a doing day.
Miss Christine, I mean, you as a teacher, if you were outside and you heard all these adults, we had a room full of adults, and they sounded like, I'm serious. You would have thought, look, if you're a teacher at school, they were making noise, they were happy, they were filming, they were mucking up, and it's just beautiful. So I guess the real value is just the experience you both have had, the hundreds of people that you've worked with, even just to come, anybody that's even thought of, or perhaps maybe they've got a son or a daughter or a relative that has thought of a book. Who better than come and get knowledge from somebody who's done it 400 times plus? And who's better to come? You know what I mean? And if communication, and look, communication is not limited to video. It's how we really show up. So that confidence, and come and just experience so well, and then come and just see how you show up and see what shift you can have. And look, it is transformative, right? People that literally need to carry through and carry through. They're going to set that expectation that they're going to have to be whatever excellent at anything. It's not that at all, is it?
Yeah, no, and absolutely. Even if they don't go away and think, I'm not ready to write my book yet. I'm not ready to do. It's not a big thing. I teach you on the day.
They might come to you with like a checklist. They might come with a checklist of all these titles, like 200 titles, and say, and you'll be like, I come across that. I come across that. I come across that. But there's no real expectation, is there? Because I don't want people also intimidated because, they might show up and say, well, I don't know anything,
Yeah.
Is there any level of expectation coming into this program?
No, because we take you through simple steps and exercises that help to bring all of that out. And so I do a lot of that with some practical exercises that I would use in school, for example. But then Sue Ellen, like she says, weaves it in, so they go away straight away and put it into practice. So we might do an exercise, for example, with some brainstorming and mind maps and that sort of thing. And the next thing they do either before the break or after a break, they go away and create a video on that. And someone takes them through the steps to really get them out of that panic
really
mode
immersive.
And really bring out their inner genius, their inner beauty and what have you in the video. And obviously, they'll be partnered up with someone who helps them to bring out as well and helps to make suggestions. That
it's just a joyful, cultivating support.
Yeah.
Look, I've experienced it. I'm excited. When Sue Ellen was here, you weren't here, Christine, but Sue Ellen was here, and this is just going to be awesome. And I want to experience it again. It's almost like it becomes joyful. It's like, the first time you go on a roller coaster, it's fun. You want to do it again, right? And I'm just giving the heads up to people watching. Cool. So we're going to share some links, obviously, and some details. What else have we got to share about the event in Melbourne, and costs and, people?
Okay, well,
is it going to cost people a lot of money?
Yeah, it's going to cost you a big $1. The link
deposit. $1.
$1 deposit. So what we really love is that you can come along on the day, and all you put down right now is $1. The whole day is $49. So that, that's 8 hours of us, 2 of us teaching you, and including the room and what have you. So is you put $1 down, you'll see it on the link, and then only after the event, if you really enjoyed the event, you got a lot out of it and value out of it, then we you pay the other $48. If you didn't like
I was really impressed with that. You can't do any better, right? I love that model. You can't do any better. So you're asking people to commit, so they're making $1 payment.
Yep.
To come to the event.
Yep.
Yours upfront. The event is going to cost $49, right? Including that $1, so another $48.
Yep.
If they think that I'm going to use that word worth it. If the day was worth it and they had fun, then they can authorize the payment the next day. If not, they just stop that payment and
they just tell us
it.
And we don't take the payment. Yeah, that's it.
And and that's lovely because I've never seen people do that. Like, we've saw, the free events and there's a lot of stuff, and perhaps those who have been to free events and maybe not gotten much out of it. Because there's a lot of people having events and doing things. This is going to be different, right? And you're putting your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah, and
it's $1 to secure the spot as a commitment, and then if you like us, I love that. You can't get any better. You can't get any better.
Yeah, and what's great is it's really great to see people taking action. The people who've come to the events previously, it's great to see their videos and everything on Facebook, or they've joined in one of our programs and seen them taking the plans through, and started writing their book, and things like that. So it's just brilliant to see them growing confidence and not hiding anymore behind, just getting out there, busting out of obscurity, right. Stepping up.
And there's a lot of these testimonials. There's a lot of video testimonials on the landing page, on the website, of people expressing. People can sense our excitement and our knowing, but that's us. There's a lot more expression. I think people's expression. It's not about proof anymore. When you've done it so many times, what you do. But it's for people to just feel encouraged to come. $1 commitment. I love that. that.
And the other thing that's really important about it is that people have hesitation about changing the circumstance that they're changing, and so we address that during the day. And the thing about that, Christine really enlightened me on about writing a book is that blogs are content. And it's just that could just be like a chapter of a book. So even if someone isn't wanting to write their whole book, but they can actually up-level and really focus on the quality content that they're putting out just by coming along to the day. So, it can help people if they want to write their bestseller and they want to do it immediately, or if they just want to write better blog posts for their website. Like it's the whole range.
Yeah, that's a great point, Sue, and thanks for making that, because what we take you through on the day is about a book and is about a video, but it is not at the same time. It's for any piece of content you put out there whatsoever. Any content, whether it's a Facebook post or an article or a video, whatever it might be, it's how to set yourself up for success with all of those. Yeah.
It's wonderful. I'm so happy that we're able to make this call today. We've had a few people on the call, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to share this and see this.
Awesome.
So when are the dates? And I'm going to leave any last last messages from both of you, and I really just want everybody who is watching to come and just have a fun day, and it's going to be in our new venue. I think we've it's going to be in a special venue. Yeah, it's going to be in our new venue, right? Yeah. So we've got an incredible project, and it'll be so good to have you both come and present there. So
yeah, we're looking forward.
I'm excited, and I hope everybody is that's listening is just you might not need to even put that pressure of becoming an author, like Sue Ellen said. Just you'll communicate better. So much more will be impacted. And it's so true, isn't it? Like, blog posts, weekly blog posts over a year, 52 blog posts in 12 months that can be collated and, put together into a book. Yeah. So it's literally having ways to do it where there is no pressure if people don't have the time or whatever, right? So that's really important, isn't it? So
yeah, it is.
Totally. It really is. And it's about, Christine and I are both about bite-sized chunks. If you've got a dream and you've got a goal and you want to write a book or you want to do videos and it seems overwhelming, then like you just said, Mero, you focus on what it is that you want for this blog post, and by going through the 90-day map, you then at the end of it, you could have already created your content for your book, but you were just super focused and super clear from the very beginning of 2017. Yes. There's no reason why at the end of it, you can do it easily. Like Christine's got so many different ways to writing a book. You do not have to lock yourself in the woods and go and hire this exotic place in the Alps or whatever. You can do it during your everyday life.
That's right. And travel to the Himalayas and, meditate with the shamans. That's right. It's nice, obviously, to have that space but a lot of people don't know where to start. A lot of people don't know where to begin. A lot of people don't know that journey. And I just love what I love about your system, and I love, sharing it with others, is that there is a system. There's a fully supportive system that'll take us from that place to that place. And who better than you two wonderful ladies? I'm so grateful for both of you. Christine, I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah, Angie, sorry I had my head ducked down there. I was just typing into the Facebook Live, and I think I've got I'm ducking down. I've got the iPad down below. I think I've got the link right. It's bit.ly/MYM Mero. So
Mero. Oh, that's nice.
Your M for message, and then Mero, M-E-R-O.
That's special for my people. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. And one thing that I'd love to mention, when Sue Ellen shared about this 19-year-old, the video media company that I have, my team are in their 20s, right? The young people. Our co-working space and youth centres for young people. I really want to encourage any adult that's listening, choosing to come to the event. Find one young person in your family, maybe a son, a daughter, bring them along and see, and just watch them and watch how creative they become. That's just something that I wanted to share. The second thing is, if you do that, they'll probably invite a friend because they would want to come along. And it will be so nice to actually get that mix of, our age people and younger people, because somehow we motivate and inspire each other. And I know people that are listening, people are going to get this message, are going to get it, and they're going to come along to this fun day and learn, and I don't think you could have made it any better, made it any easier for people to just come and experience that day. So thank you. I really appreciate you both, and I appreciate your time. And I'm going to give you the last little bit in case you want to say anything or repeat anything or reiterate anything. And for those of you listening, I'm really looking forward to come meeting you in person as well. Come say hello on the day.
Well, I'd like to say thank you so much, Mero, for this. You've asked some amazing, questions, been really insightful, and just really beautiful getting to know you, and meeting you and getting to know you over the time as well. And I just had one thought that came to me there. Thanks for getting them to share it out.
Thank you.
You know what? One thing I always teach people is to stay in your own zone of genius and get someone else to do the rest, because what you hate doing, someone else loves doing. And the fact that you said bring along the youngsters, outsource everything to them, get them to do it. They'll do it much faster than you will ever do it. much faster. So yeah, outsource it.
Oh, it's inspiring. It's inspirational.
Yeah.
It's inspirational, but also to give them an opportunity. You know, I think us as adults, we have this responsibility for teenagers and for young people. You know, for me, it's exciting to watch them grow and develop and learn and just see how creative they are.
Yeah.
You know, I have an incredible younger sister who is that sense of inspiration for me. And sometimes as adults, we get so caught up about our own fears. You know, bring them, make it a day of connection. Son and daughter, mum and dad day. Sorry, mum and son day, or daughter and dad day. Whatever it is, just ask the question. Just ask the question. See if they're even interested in creating something. And when we ask young people questions, it's incredible what they give us. And this 19-year-old person is creating dream catchers, right? And I know so many other young people. So thank you for sharing that. And, you know, those who are listening, I think will get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And for, you know, like Mero said, if you share out the link, and if you share out using the hashtag Magnify Your Message, then we'll find out who shared it. And I think, Sue, I'm going to, you know, put this in there without speaking to you, because it's obviously just on the moment, is that we can have a great, you know, sort of like, well, what would you call it, a door prize or a competition prize or whatever for, you know, whoever brings along the most people or shares it the most will have an amazing.
It'll be fun, right? To bring a group of people.
Yeah.
I think everybody's focused on $5, they've got a $5. They're going to pay for 5 people $1 each. Then, if they like it, they could pay their own way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's more than that, right? It's more than that. It's like, you know, that day is going to be incredible, and those who are not going to come are going to see, right? Because it's going to be on social media and photos. So I really hope that those who are listening, those who can make it, can come, and you just really think who can I bring along to this day to make it really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you both for your time. Sue Ellen, any final words or anything else you want to share?
I just want to say that, you know, thank you very much, Mero. It's, you know, I know you've made a big difference in, you know, a lot of people's lives, young and old, and, you know, you're an accomplished speaker and trainer and, you know, highly successful businessman, you know, as well. And you constantly have your heart open, you know, to help people come up through the ranks. And, you know, you certainly helped, you know, in my business, you know, we've brainstormed a lot of different ideas, and, you know, and I feel, you know, so grateful, like, you know, just on the journey that I've been on. And, you know, a lot of my clients have been like me, like really kind of quite reluctant to step in front of the camera. I mean, I had a camera, I was really good behind it. And I was reluctant to step in front of it,
that's right.
Because, you know, then you got to step up and be seen in a whole new light. And the thing is that what I've discovered is that the more that I'm myself and the more I'm me, then the faster my business grows. You know, I can have all the strategy in the world, but if I don't show up first, then I've just got an emptiness, because it's just going to crash at some point down the track. And so I've built my business on a really
You're going to be tested, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And because I know what that's like to have such a message to share. It just kind of burns through, and it, you know, there's things that I don't want to do, but I'm compelled to do it anyway. And they're the people that we need to get out of hiding and stop being the world's best kept secret. Help them to write that book, help them to make a, you know, even if it's one video. You know, I've made one video. Well, actually, one of my clients made a video, and reluctantly she's like, I don't want to put it out. I'm like, put it out. And she could not believe.
Of course you told her that.
Yeah. She said she had one person, well, she didn't have that many people see it, but she had this one person who saw it, and that one person was a coach over in Melbourne, ironically. And she was looking for a panel of experts, and she was looking for a specific expert who was exactly, and this lady was exactly what she was looking for. She made she Facebook messaged her, and the next minute she's now flying to Melbourne once a month, and she's getting paid to speak. She's getting paid accommodation. She's getting paid airfare, and she goes, I almost didn't put that video up. So, you know, even if you don't think anyone's watching, they're so watching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, just have a go.
You know, I think if we focus, have a go. That's right.
Have a go.
Exactly. If it can touch one person's heart, one person's life, it's worth it, isn't it?
Totally.
Yeah,
Out of
that's
your
right.
comfort zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is so true. I love that that best kept secret, right? I mean, what is it? What is it that's so secret? I mean, every life is honored, every life is special, every life is sacred, and it's through our experiences that we inspire others, right?
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyone that's listening, don't worry about the overwhelm. This is fun. Just come show up, say hello, and just navigate your way through this wonderful day that's going to happen. And you ladies are going to be on fire because you're going to be traveling all around Australia.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we
There's a
started
few other events. Those who are watching who want to see you in other states. Yeah, tell us about
so we
that,
got
please.
so Sydney's on the 14th, which is
Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
We need some roses and cake, chocolate.
There we go, Valentine's Day, and then on the 15th is Melbourne at Cranbourne, and then we've got Perth on the 18th. So that's on the 18th. That's a Saturday. And then if you can't make any of those dates, then on the 22nd of February, which is a Wednesday, then we've got a full day of virtual training that, you know, we just didn't want anyone to have whatever excuse it was to, you know, to stop them from getting their message out. You know, I'm now known as the dream catcher in the video world, and you know, we want to capture those dreams and turn them into reality so that you can leave that impact simply by who you are.
And anyone who's actually watching in Adelaide, I've had so many requests of people, because we've had 2 in Adelaide now. We've had so many requests of people saying, we missed it, when's your next one? So I really feel, I mean, we might change it. But now that we've got Zoom working on Facebook Live, I think we could team up the Adelaide event with the virtual one. So we do both. So we have fun in the classroom and virtually as well. But we'll work out whether that will actually work. Otherwise, an Adelaide one will be soon after that.
We love Adelaide, you know. It's like it's
easy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, beautiful.
Easy. So you've made it easy. There's in every state, and then there's a virtual event as well. So yeah, providing all these opportunities, and I have no doubt that people are, you know, they're going to be inspired, they're going to be ignited, and they're going to enjoy literally step out of life for a little bit. About everything else that's happening, and just come and enjoy that day.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
think
going to
people
see
are crying
quickly
about it already.
any comments.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Beautiful, thank you. Take care. I'll answer your comments on Facebook later, you know, as soon as we get off here.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll go through the details. I'll see you in Melbourne, and all the best with your journey around Australia. Thanks.
Thanks, Mero.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Still recording?
I will stop the recording.